Hello everyone, my name is Patricia and welcome to my channel. Today is Tester Tuesday, New Scents Edition, round 3. So what we're doing is we are warming the transition set testers, but we do it in kind of a little bit of a competition to see what ones you guys want to hear about first. So I warm them, review them, and you guys vote at the end of each video. So thank you so much for all the votes. You guys are really great at participating. This is so much fun. Basically, we had the most votes again this week, and this week it was a really tight race. All the scents were getting almost equal amount of votes, and then one particular scent just started edging a little bit ahead of all the others, kind of like a horse race, and it did come out on top. So, just to let you know that if you do not have the ability to post a comment on the video to vote, you can always find me on Instagram. My contact information will be in the description box, and you can submit your 2 votes to me that way. Speaking of Instagram, my daughter actually asked if she could vote this week, and she has Instagram. I said go ahead, and she picked 2 scents that she wanted, and actually by her vote kind of bumped 100 Acre Wood into the final spot. And also we had one little clever subscriber that voted for the same scent twice. And I never said that you couldn't do that, so I did count her 2 votes. But for next time, I prefer just 2 separate votes, please, and do not vote in both YouTube and Instagram. That will totally confuse me. Let me just pause the video for one moment. The door came open. It's getting a little noisy. Okay, I'm back. And it just opened again. It's been that kind of day. Let's go over the 4 scents that we're going to talk about this week. So, in the number 1 position, we have Apple Cherry Strudel, and that had 28% of the vote. In number 2, we had, and that's a pretty red wax, Winterberry Apple Tea, number 2, with 17% of the vote. Purple wax. And tied for a 3rd place, we had Christmas Cactus, a lime green bright wax, and 100 Acre Wood, a pretty mauve wax. Those both had just shy of 16%. Now, the 2 that did not make the cut, Porch Pumpkin and Mulan True to Your Heart, they were almost there too. It was so close. But they will be put in later rounds, so we will get to those. One housekeeping note from last week, Blueberry Pancakes did really well last week, but I did leave it in the warmer a bit too long, and I find that it kind of got a scorched smell. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to, it's almost like the butter, the butter note in the Blueberry Pancakes burned. But, you know, I'm just joking, but yes, just be careful. Those kind of things do happen when the scents are in there for quite a while. Okay, one last thing. The amount of wax in here is approximately 3/4 of a cube. It weighs about 7 grams. So let's get into the good stuff. Let's talk about Apple Cherry Strudel. The description from Scentsy is Granny Smith, cherry, and vanilla drizzle. Insist on dessert first. So I would say this is like a fruity bakery scent. If you're not aware of what strudel is, it's from Austria, and what it is a stretchy pastry, and they make a really huge base, and they put usually a sweet filling inside, roll it up, bake it, and then they put like a vanilla drizzle, which is usually something like icing sugar and water or icing sugar and milk. So with this scent, you would expect apple, cherry, pastry, and vanilla. And I definitely find it's heavy on the cherry. I get apple kind of in the background, pastry just a bit, and vanilla, yes. So, but there's no spice to this. So if you're someone that does not like spice, this might be a good option for you. Let's see, where do I start? Okay, scent appeal on cold was about 8.5 for me. This is a scent that I typically would really enjoy. Now, scent appeal on warm, it was a little bit difficult to judge because the strength and throw on this scent was not the greatest. What I did was I placed this scent in my laundry room in a 15-watt silver vine warmer. It gets pretty hot. The room is long and thin. So the only problem was Blueberry Pancakes had been in there a couple days before and had that scorched smell. After Blueberry Pancakes was there, I put watermelon mint in, and you could still smell watermelon mint, but it was almost like watermelon mint plus scorch. So I still felt there was like a tiny bit of scorched smell in the air. But I found this was at most maybe a 5 to 6 out of 10 for strength and throw for the first 5.5 hours. Just to be fair, I wanted to remove it from the laundry room in case the scorch smell was impacting, what I was getting from it. So I brought it up here to this room, and this is a 12-watt element warmer. So what I did was I turned the warmer off, let the wax almost fully harden. When it was just slightly soft, I scooped it out one big blob, put it up here, and then I let her rip. So I kept it here for another 5.5 hours. And over that 5.5 hours, the strength and throw at the most was probably 2 to 3. So basically at the most it might have been 5 or 6, and then it just kind of dropped. So at the most I had this in for 11 hours, and then I took it out. So I was a little bit disappointed in its performance, but if you really like, okay, so you guys probably know this about me, but I watch a lot of YouTubers, and I like to watch people because the more videos you watch, the more knowledge you gain, the more opinions you get. I suggest you watch as many people as possible because sometimes someone will say something and they just really hit the nail on the head. And the very smart Lisa Roberry did that for me the other day. She said that apple cherry strudel reminded her of a cherry version of apple butter frosting. And I would definitely agree. Now, the only problem is apple butter frosting, which is in the Corner Cafe section of the catalog, is a terrific performer. It basically is a really strong scent. It lasts for a while. This one was a light scent and did not last for a while. So what I want to do is I'm just going to get you to put this in your back pocket for a second, and then we will get back to it shortly. I'm going to do my own little mixing. Yes, I think the only other thing I wanted to say was I was watching a video with Heidi and Orville, and what they were doing was sampling scents. And they would go to a door which had a tiny little window. They'd open the window and smell and see if they could smell the scent that was warming in the small room. So most of us really want scents that, if you open the window, you can smell the scent. Sometimes Heidi and Orville would go into the room to get a better idea of the scent. Those kind of scents are kind of remind me of apple cherry strudel because they're a bit lighter. You have to get closer to the warmer to smell them. And I don't know, I think the majority of us here in Scentsy land would like scents that are stronger rather than lighter, because stronger scents you can always put less in the warmer. Anyway, but maybe I'm wrong. Comment below if you actually love lighter scents, but I think most of us prefer scents on the stronger side. And I'm a little bit worried that apple cherry strudel is kind of like the apricot vanilla of this season. Last season, apricot vanilla was all the buzz, and Scentsy kind of seemed to promote it a lot, and that's kind of what's going on with apple cherry strudel. But apricot vanilla did not perform well in most people's homes, so I'm a little bit worried that that might be what's happening here. I really like this scent, so I'm hoping I'm wrong. So will it be a repurchase for me? Not at this time. I want to be a little bit greedy and kind of see how it does with everybody else before I buy a bar, because this is just one tester. We don't know if, maybe it's just my home. So we'll see how it does, and I will make a call later in the season. But I think that this is actually going to sell really well. I just don't know if it's going to perform very well. Time will tell. Well, let's move on. I'm going on and on. Okay, Winterberry Apple Tea. This is winter tea, cozies up to cranberry, apple, and honey. I would say this is a fruity category scent. Would I say it is a fall and winter scent? Maybe not. I definitely find this is something you could warm all year round. Scent appeal on cold for me was about 8. On warm it went up, maybe 8.5, 9. I ended up really liking this scent. I don't know if I can really pick up any of the specific notes. This one was tough for me on cold. But what I find is I smell plum. I smell plum with this, which is really nice because we don't have plum options in this catalog, really. Yeah. I find if you had sweet plum pastry and then removed the pastry, this might be close to what you would get. So if you love sweet plum pastry, but you're not a big fan of the pastry part, I would definitely give this a try. It's so nice. It's a really nice, well-blended fragrance. I think this is going to have huge public scent appeal. The public is, I think, really going to like it in general. It's a really nice scent. The strength and throw is about 8 out of 10. I think it would have no problem in an open concept space, and it lasted 30 hours in my laundry room 15-watt mini warmer. So I would say this is a winner, and I think it's going to be really good. The other thing is you could mix a lot of things with this. For instance, if you wanted to create not your own apple cherry strudel, but kind of like a plum cherry strudel or a cranberry cherry strudel, you could mix this with apple butter frosting, because this is a good performer and this is a good performer, so they complement each other well. No, you're not going to get cherry, but I think it's better than, you know, purchasing something that maybe is a little bit subpar. Okay, third scent, Christmas Cactus. The scent description is agave nectar and citrus trim Siberian fir for a new kind of winter wonderland. And yes, I would definitely say this is a new twist on a Christmas scent. Basically, I warmed this in my laundry room again in the 15-watt silver vine warmer. So this is a Siberian fir, which is like a fresh woody scent, and they've added agave nectar, which agave is a sweetener. So this actually provides a little special twist to this scent. There's also citrus, which maybe it's a little hard to pick up citrus per se, but it's probably there just to heighten the other scent notes. But yeah, agave is kind of down in the like Mexico, you know, southern United States, like in dry climates. So I think that's where they were going with the cactus twist. And I really like the scent a lot on cold. I would say 7.5. It did go down to about a 6.5 on warm, and maybe even slightly less, because in the first part of the warming, I really liked this scent. As it warmed, I found it changed, and as it changed, I wasn't sure I was crazy about it. Basically, it's almost like the agave and the citrus kind of burned off, and then you were left with the Siberian fir. So it kind of reminded me almost towards the end when you would, I kept this in 22 hours. Still had scent when I removed it, but I didn't really care for the scent anymore, so I took it out, which is probably not the greatest thing when you're doing a review, but anyway. So I kind of said it reminds me of if you went outside and you had like shrubs, like low-lying shrubs or, you know, evergreen shrubs around your house, but you weren't sure if the neighborhood cat came and paid you a visit, if you catch my drift. So yes, after a while, it kind of turned a bit on me. So if you're someone that changes your scents out very frequently, this would probably not be an issue. The change would not be an issue. If you're someone that leaves your scents in and tries to get every little last morsel out of the scent, and it may change on you and you may not enjoy that change. It all depends. So would I repurchase this? I'm not sure. I do have a lot of wax, but I do love the unique aspect of this scent. I'm really proud of Scentsy for doing something like this, very different. I might pick it up, but if I do pick it up, I'll probably remove it before it turns to the astringent Siberian fir scent. So I would say, yeah, around the 8 to 10 hour mark as well. Like the strength and throw, I would say about a 7.5, up to around hour 8 or 10, and then the last 10 or 12 hours, it went down to about a 5, and that's when I removed it. Probably would be okay for an open concept space. I think it would be okay. If that helps you at all. The last one we're going to talk about is 100 Acre Wood. So this is our first Disney scent, so that's great. Scent description is a really cute one. It says, grab your favorite hand and wander through a friendly forest swirling with cotton blossoms, wild jasmine, and sweet cozy vanilla. And I would say cozy is a great adjective for this. But also a very well blended, sophisticated, youthful, innocent scent. I really ended up liking this scent. I would say the strength, scent appeal, on cold was about 7, but on warm I'd say it went up maybe 8, 8.5. And surprisingly, the strength and throw was about a 6 to a 7. I did warm it in this bedroom, however. I wouldn't think this would be something that you would put in a big area at all. It would probably get lost. But in this bedroom, it had a great throw, I would say 7 at the most, and it lasted 30 hours in a 12-watt element warmer. Now, mind you, after a while, you know, it did soften, but yeah, I took it out just slightly after 30 hours actually. So what I want to say is, if this is kind of a hard scent to describe, because on cold I found this was the lightest scent out of all 24 of the new scents, but I was surprised that, you know, it really held its own. But how do I describe this? It's tricky. If you are a fan of something, say, like satin sheets or silhouette or white sands, those kind of softer scents that don't blow you out of the house, but you can tell they're in the background, very pleasant, well liked by most, doesn't offend people, doesn't turn people off, that's something like this. And the other thing I think of is, I kind of describe it like when you're getting ready for the baby and everything's new in the nursery and everything smells good and fresh and clean. But on that note, there is a store close to me, and it's kind of like an upscale baby store, like toddler store, and they have like, it's like a 3-level home that's really, really nice. And you know, it's one of those stores that they charge like 5 times the amount they should for a stroller, that kind of store. So I would say this type of scent would be a scent that I think would, you know, just be warming all through that store. So I don't know if that helps you a lot, but just know that I think Scentsy and Disney did a really great job with this scent. And yes, I feel like taking Winnie the Pooh's hand myself and walking through the 100-acre wood forest. So anyway, that's that. So let's summarize. Apple Cherry Strudel. I think I would prefer to make my own variation blend of that scent, but I also want to hold off and see how other people do with that one. Winterberry Apple Tea. I've already actually repurchased that on the weekend. I picked it up right away. I think I'm really, really going to like that one, and I think a lot of other people will too. Christmas Cactus. I really love the unique aspect of that scent. I'm very happy Scentsy kind of went out on a limb with that one, and I think it will do well. Just keep in mind it does change. It's one of those change its notes kind of scent, and just watch out in case you don't like the end note. And 100-acre wood, I mean, I cannot say enough good things about 100-acre wood. I really enjoyed that, and it was basically kind of like the dark horse that really did well for me. So anyway, let's go on to pick the scents for this week. So we have, this is week 4, so we actually have 6 scents left in this bag, so I don't have to actually officially draw 6 scents. Now in the following weeks, we will actually start getting to the 2 scents each week that didn't make the cut. And I will explain more as we get to that part of the series. So let's go over the scents. You have 2 votes each. Please vote for 2 different scents, only in one location, either YouTube or Instagram. Vote by Wednesday morning, because that's when I'm going to check back. I'm going to tally the votes. I will let you know that I've received your vote by a little heart, and I will announce the 4 scents that I will review, and we'll do that next Tuesday. The other thing is, starting tomorrow at Scentsy Club, this video will load on Tuesday, but starting on Wednesday, the Scentsy Club will start. What I will do is I am going to upload another video late on Wednesday. I am going to walk you through everything I know about Scentsy Club, but what I want to do is enroll first, just to see if there's any hiccups or glitches, just to kind of give you a heads up, or, you know, try to help you as best I can. Okay? So the scents for this week to vote on. Alphabetical order. Belle, Enchanted Rose. Breakfast Blend. Cinderella, Happily Ever After. Cozy, Cardigan. Just Keep Swimming. And Your Pal Mickey. So just to summarize, I will list it in the comments box, but it's Belle, Enchanted Rose, Breakfast Blend, Cinderella, Happily Ever After, oh my gosh, Cozy Cardigan, Just Keep Swimming, and, can I do it? Dun da da da, Your Pal Mickey. Yes, 2 votes each, and I will get back and see you again tomorrow. So thank you for spending the last 19 minutes with me. As always, I'd like to hope that you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care. I will see you in the next video, which is tomorrow. And don't forget to vote.